I'm Esther Aritonang, and this is Inside News Channel. Today, we address a growing concern among students and their families: the rising cost of single tuition fees at public universities in Indonesia. The cost of higher education continues to rise, with single tuition fees experiencing a significant increase in recent years. This trend is worrying as many students and their families are finding it increasingly difficult to afford the cost required for a university education. Recent data shows that the average single tuition fees has risen by nearly 20% over the past 5 years. This increase was due to a variety of factors, including inflation, higher operational costs, and reduction in government subsidies. Consequently, many students are forced to take on additional part-time work or secure loans to cover their educational expenses, which can negatively impact their academic performance and overall well-being. This financial strain has sparked a wave of protests from student organizations across the country. They are demanding more affordable education and greater government intervention. Protesters argue that education should be accessible to all regardless of their academic background and are calling for a comprehensive review of the single tuition fees system to make it fairer and more equitable. In response, the Ministry of Education has acknowledged these concerns and indicate that they are exploring potential solutions. However, no specific measures have been announced, leaving students and families in a state of uncertainty regarding future tuition costs. Experts suggest that a multifaceted approach is needed to address this issue. This could include increasing funding for public universities, improving financial and programs, and re-evaluating the formula used to calculate single tuition fees to ensure it more accurately reflects students' financial realities. As this issue continues to develop, we will keep you informed with the latest updates and response from both the government and educational institutions. For now, the rising cost of single tuition fees remains a critical issue, one that requires urgent attention to ensure that higher education remains accessible to all aspiring students in Indonesia. Switching to other news, we explored the deeper meanings behind a critically acclaimed Thai film that has been making waves internationally. The film, titled How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies, is not only entertaining, but also rich with profound life lessons and cultural insights. Let's take a closer look at what makes this film resonate so deeply with audience. Directed by the esteemed Thai filmmaker Pat Bonotipat, How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies tells the story of a young man named M. He was willing to leave his job to take care of his grandmother, Mengju. Mengju had terminal colon cancers. However, it turned out that M didn't have sincere intention. M is known to have the goal of making Mengju like him, so that he can get an inheritance after his grandmother died. The idea came from his cousin named Mui. Previously, Mui had inherited a house from her grandfather. Mui gave him advice so that he could become Mengju's favorite grandson. M then carried out his action to be a good grandson. He helps with all the housework, such as helping and accompanying Mengju during treatment. However, winning her grandmother's heart wasn't easy. Mengju is a tough woman who is hard to beat. Another problem arises when M finds out that he is not the only person targeting his grandmother's inheritance. He also has to compete with others. Before his time runs out, M doesn't give up and tries hard to become his grandmother's favorite. M does whatever he can to get the inheritance. he believes can change his life. Day by day, Am's intention changed. Instead of taking advantage of Mengju's grandmother, he actually felt genuine affection for her. The cinema film How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies moved its audience. Not only focusing on the relationship between Am and Mengju, this film also showed the dynamics of the relationship of other family members. The synopsis of How to Make Millions Before Grandma Dies shows how difficult the life of the Ama family is, consisting of her children and grandchildren. This cinema film from Thailand risks true family affection and financial interests. Thank you for joining us. I am Esther Aritonang, and this is Inside News Channel. Good morning!